Hello Uplanders, I'm YK2012, founder of the Upland Guide. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Upland Improvement Proposal 1, which is the very first vote that we are going to be able to make regarding how the economy will work in the metaverse. In order to vote, you have to verify your identity and have an Upland home address. There's a lot more details in the link in the description below to learn how to vote and set your home address. If you're able to, I highly encourage everybody to vote, not only because you have a democratic right to do so as a member in the Upland Metaverse, but also because you have an opportunity to win this awesome I Voted Block Explorer. They're giving 300 of these away randomly to players who do vote in this voting proposal. The proposal being presented and all of the background information that you might want to know about how the economy works and the proposal itself can be found in the link in the description below and in the playlist in the upper right-hand corner. Just to set the stage of the vote, they are saying at a high level the goals for the proposal are as follows. Ensure a steady stream of UPEX to the upland pool without increasing the UPEX supply. Supply would only increase when macroeconomic conditions require it. Protect the integrity of the upland economy by maintaining the current UPEX supply. And lastly, position the community for further decentralization by empowering the community pool to fund the upland operator. I had an opportunity last week to interview Idan Zuckerman, who is the co-founder and co-CEO of Upland. I was able to talk to him and ask questions specifically regarding this proposal and some of these goals and what it will mean for Upland in the future. And I also had an opportunity to talk to him more about the overall vision and direction that Upland is heading. I highly encourage you to check out this video, and the link is in the upper right-hand corner. When you do cast your vote in Upland, you have three options, and I'm going to explain to you why I have chosen to support Upland's team's proposal and adopt UIP1. In my personal opinion, the main point in this proposal has to deal with the decentralization of the community pool. At the moment, Upland is a completely centralized metaverse where Upland has complete control on how the economy works. If we as the community and Uplanders want to have a bigger say in how this is going to work, we are going to want to see the community pool move more towards decentralization. I specifically asked Idan about the topic of decentralization, and this is one of the things that he had to say that jumped out to me.
I think what's most important for us is not necessarily, again, decentralization is not necessarily the end game of everything. It is one potential outcome that we want to kind of like maintain as a possibility.
The whole concept of metaverses and decentralized platforms in and of itself is a very new concept, and it's impossible to envision exactly where Upland will be in 3 or 5 years down the road with regards to the topic of decentralization. But by voting yes, this keeps doors open and options on the table. I don't want to take any options off the table at this point in time that could make things more difficult for us as the community to gain control of our community pool. Now, I see a lot of people talking on Discord and in Reddit and in other places about the state of the economy, and I feel that people are looking at this as what's going on today in the economy and how is that going to affect me tomorrow. I asked Idan what kind of effect this vote will have on the short-term economy within Upland, and this is what he had to say.
I think there is not a lot of implication in the short term. Just because, again, the fact is that Upland is still centralized in terms of its macroeconomic decision making. That means that even if we were forced to print new UPEX by guidance of the community, it doesn't mean we need to inject it into kind of like the circulation that is owned by player wallets.
In addition to that, I would go on and say that regardless of what happens with the vote, as a centralized platform, Upland has many different tools in their toolkit on how they can play with the economy, whether it be introducing a new car sale or releasing a new city or even holding off on releasing a new city. There are many things that Upland can do at any given point in time, how they can shape and direct the economy in where they want it to be. Furthermore, there is a concern from the community that if we do vote yes, then Upland will somehow find a way to decrease the earnings that we have currently on our properties. Is it safe to say that everyone who's talking about, the hopeful increase or potential decrease of property earnings has absolutely nothing to do with this vote?
Absolutely nothing with this vote. This will not change in any way the macroeconomic decision of what is the right earning volume in Upland.
Now, Upland has said that regardless of this proposal, we can expect in the future that the earnings will decrease. And I'm going to give you a little insight as to why I think that's going to happen. And the only question around this is not if, but when. Right now, if we look at the entire platform, there are several different things that you can spend your UPEX on, but the only one that provides you with yield at this point in time is properties. This is something that is currently providing me personally with quite a lot of passive yields that then allow me to reinvest that into new properties. Currently, for me personally, I'm not looking too much into block explorers, legits, and outdoor decor items at this point in time because it makes most sense for me to buy more properties. As there becomes more variety of things that uplanders can purchase within the metaverse, there needs to be some sort of incentive for players to purchase that. We know that block explorers will be your drivers in car racing, and Spark will be required to manufacture outdoor decor items. But at this point in time, for a lot of uplanders, it's hard to see that utility when some of these things are still in beta testing or have yet to be implemented at all in the metaverse. Once some of these additional utilities become available to more people, I can absolutely envision that being a point in time where Upland might decide to decrease the yields once again in order to nudge people's thinking to open up the idea of owning different types of assets and participating in different parts of the upland economy. When we look at the two different pools, the upland pool and the community pool, the new proposal suggests that any new minting will be done through the community pool, and on a monthly basis, there is a formula that will be implemented that will transfer UPEX from the community pool into the upland pool. There has been a lot of pushback from the community that this is not the right way to be funding the upland pool. There are several different ways that this can be done, but the community seems to have some sort of pushback regards to this specific method of funding the upland pool. When asked about that, this is what he done had to say.
Yeah, so the question in hand basically is not whether or not Upland Me gets funded with Apex. This happens either way. It's a matter of how, what is the right mechanism of doing so that it's going to be sustainable for the future. And again, just repeating that from our macroeconomic perspective, there's absolutely no need at this point in time to mint new Apex tokens. There is sufficient Apex tokens to run the current size of the upland economy. And moreover, there is more than sufficient funds in the community pool in relation to its size to the Apex held by user wallets, which is going to be the driving factor of the decision of whether or not to mint new Apex to the community pool in the hopes that the proposition gets adopted.
Another point that Edan had made in a different talk that he had with the community is that if we don't want the minting of new UPEX to be done through the community pool, but we do want for the community pool to be decentralized and for the community to have responsibility over it, we do not want to have a situation where Upland or any entity who is in charge of the Upland pool will have the ability to negate any decision that we have made as a community. For example, if we decide as a community that we don't want new UPEX to be printed, then there has to be a technical way to enforce that. If the minting of new UPEX is possible through the Upland pool, then they would be able to make that independent decision to mint new UPEX, even if the community decided that that is something that we specifically do not want. Now, this is just one potential scenario that could happen down the road, and this is why Upland has come up with this specific proposal, where no minting of UPEX could be done through the Upland pool. At the end of the day, I'm not an economist and I don't claim to understand everything that is going on with the economy and what is necessarily best for it, but I believe that this is what Upland is here for. I believe that it is in their best interest for there to be a strong economy that is beneficial not only to them as a business, but also to us as Uplanders. And that is why I have decided that I am going to be voting yes and supporting the UIP1 proposal. We may be able to look at the numbers right now at the size of the different pools, but we really don't have the insight and the forecast to look long term as to what Upland is looking to do with the economy. We don't know about new features that they plan on introducing or their timelines, and we also don't know any potential new partnerships that they have. As we can see here, they just announced a partnership with FIFA for the World Cup, and this was something that nobody could have imagined a couple of weeks ago. Without the full picture, it's very difficult to see exactly what the best outcome could be. And I believe that the the way that Upland has able to create this economy that has been working for the past 3 years, I absolutely instill my faith in them that they will continue to move this game forward, elevate the platform, and know what's best not only for the company itself, but also for all of its users. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this proposal. You can leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and continue watching more videos to learn more about the economy.